different kind, for a different reason.
Who do you want to hang?
She was the heart of the farmer's daughter, the picture of grace and quiet charm. Inger Stevens lit up America's living rooms with her smile, but behind that soft light lived a storm no one truly saw. When news of her sudden death at just 35 shocked the world, it wasn't just sadness that filled the air, it was suspicion. Why would someone so young, so successful, take her own life, just days before a new show? And how did her deepest secret, a hidden marriage, surface only after her passing? Stay with us as we uncover the delicate threads of a life stitched with secrecy, sorrow, and a fortune lost in the shadows. Born in 1934 in Stockholm, Inger's life began with uncertainty. Her parents split when she was just a child, and her mother left the picture entirely. At 9, she was sent across the ocean to New York to live with her father and new stepmother, strangers in a strange land. The bright lights of America didn't comfort her. They made her feel even more alone. At 15, she ran away, hungry for a place to belong. She waited tables, danced in small clubs, and eventually found her way to the famed actor's studio. Her past was fractured, but she carried it quietly, never complaining, always moving forward. Perhaps it was in those early wounds that her quiet intensity as an actress was born. Inger's beauty was undeniable, but it was her haunting depth that made her unforgettable. She appeared in films with legends, Bing Crosby, Harry Belafonte, Anthony Quinn, but it was television that made her a household name. As Katie Holstrom in The Farmer's Daughter, she was nominated for an Emmy and won America's heart. She was elegant, intelligent, and magnetic, yet always a step away from the spotlight's comfort. Despite her success, Hollywood didn't know where to place her. She wasn't the bombshell or the comedienne. She was something softer, sadder, more real. As offers slowed and typecasting closed in, she seemed to pull away, taking roles that never quite matched her brilliance. But even at her quietest, she held audiences with a look, a pause, a single spoken word. And yet, as her fame flickered, so did her sense of belonging in the world she once ran toward. In love, Inger Stevens wore a mask, just as carefully as she did on screen. Publicly, she dated famous names, Bing Crosby, Burt Reynolds, men who added sparkle to the tabloids. But behind the curtain, her heart belonged to someone else entirely. In 1961, she secretly married Ike Jones, a black film producer in an era when interracial marriages were both rare and risky. Fearing backlash from both Hollywood and the public, they kept their union hidden for nearly a decade. They lived separately, met in private, and maintained silence even under suspicion. Inger's friends suspected, but she never confirmed it. The burden of secrecy weighed heavily. Jones later recalled how the love was real, but the pressure to keep it invisible was immense. Inger, already fragile, found herself split between love and survival, heart and career. The fear of judgment, career suicide, and societal shame isolated her. In a world obsessed with appearances, Inger's deepest truth became her heaviest secret and the loneliest part of her life. It was a warm spring night in Hollywood Hills, April 30th, 1970. Inger Stevens, poised, elegant, only 35, had just signed onto a new television series. By all accounts, she was smiling, hopeful, turning a fresh page. Hours later, she was dead. There was no note, no warning, just a quiet collapse, and a trail of whispers that grew louder with every unanswered question. How does a rising star fall without a sound? And what secrets did she carry into the dark? The official report claimed suicide, barbiturate poisoning, but few believed it was that simple. Inger had plans, scripts in development, meetings lined up. Friends described her as focused, not fading. She had hidden pain before, but was this the moment it broke her? There were no signs of struggle, no suicide note. The coroner listed her death as acute barbiturate intoxication, but her closest friends remained unconvinced. Some whispered she had been fighting deeper despair than anyone had known. Others wondered aloud, had the weight of a secret marriage, one hidden from the world, finally crushed her spirit? Even stranger was how quickly the story disappeared. The details were sealed, the gossip silenced. Ike Jones, her secret husband of nearly a decade, stayed mostly quiet. He claimed to mourn privately, but had they argued? Had she reached out to him in her final hours? No one knows. Some whispered of foul play. Others speculated she may have taken sleeping pills without realizing the danger. There was even talk of misdiagnosis or medical cover-up, but no investigation was reopened. The case was closed, and so Inger's final night remains one of shadows and speculation. She was buried with no grand tribute. Hollywood moved on, the spotlight swinging to newer, shinier faces. But her absence lingered, like a song that ends mid-verse. What thoughts passed through her mind as she slipped away? Regret? Relief? A final, private truth too heavy to speak aloud? Inger Stevens didn't leave this world with a scream. She left with a silence that still haunts the hills. After her death, another twist emerged. Ike Jones came forward, revealing that he had been her legal husband for nearly a decade. Many were shocked. Hollywood had never acknowledged their marriage, and neither had the press. But the court confirmed it. Inger had died a married woman, her most intimate truth kept hidden until the end. Without a formal will, Jones became the administrator of her estate, but what that estate included was murky at best. Inger had no known real estate, no large bank accounts, no public trust. Some say she lived simply, others believe she hid money out of paranoia. Jewelry disappeared, personal journals were never found. Even her funeral arrangements had to be made hastily. Was there a hidden fortune, a private stash, or had she given away everything except the parts of herself no one could touch? What she did leave behind was far more lasting. A body of work filled with quiet dignity, a tragic story of love constrained by the times, and a name forever etched in mystery. Sometimes the richest legacies are the ones built from pain, silence, and a voice that was never fully heard until it was gone.
Fame comes and goes, but heart and history remain. These stars left more than performances. They left meaning. Subscribe, like, and share to remember them with us.